up on the Wikipedia, and you're going to see a symbol that looks like this. That's because the nano is inside of the body area network, which is inside of another network, and so forth. The sensor systems are inside of you. They are not easily accessible to hackers, since bare minimum, 2011 Wiley article. Please see other videos on the channel for more information. The Rumble archive is very robust with that information. Here we are in cybersecurity layer 1. Here we are in cybersecurity layer 2. Beyond cybersecurity layer 2 of the wireless body area networks, the body area network, to keep it more simple, there is a black box procedure for up to 2 layers before it reaches the rest of the hospital, whoever it is that's ordering your biological signals to be reviewed with their proprietary software on their phone or their device or whatever else. 2 layers. So technically there's 5 layers, but if you're not working in security, cyber biological security, you're not going to know that or ever see it. That way hackers cannot easily get back and forth between right here. The cyber biological security on the biosensors is even more intense. That is why it is written with that supervised machine learning algorithms for bioelectromagnetics, prediction models, and feature selection techniques using data from weak radio frequency radiation effect on human and animal cells for synthetic aperture radar and any measurement that we want from a biological signal. This was the reason for your new graphene healthcare, but graphene is not the only material that is in use to make the transduce, the transduction of transmission and reception of electrical signals through the body easier. One more time.
She does speak well, though.
This is game theory using
she doesn't stutter ever.
Networking and your body. There is not only one place on the body that the biosensors load a signal. There's a radio frequency sink, there's a biosensor head node, and then multiple other networks inside and outside the body. In order to establish the appropriate criteria for the kill box, we set a perimeter, then we extract our measurements. They use modeling software to make sure that all of that goes off without a hitch. The sensors are split up into multiple categories. The nanotechnology is there is a redundancy network, meaning that if other networks fail, this one doesn't. It's in your interstitial fluids, your interstitium. That's right underneath your skin, which is right underneath that biological field that is electrical and magnetic, that allows electronic and electromagnetic warfare to be fired from a low Earth orbit satellite, possibly bounce off a high altitude platform. And here's you standing down there on the ground. This is MOHRS, Morse circle math, for our trajectory of aim and fire.
Jesus Christ.
Your Internet of Space things and your galactic networks are actually right here. We have CubeSat, we have low Earth orbit satellite, we have, of course, Elon Musk satellite systems. They are using body area networks.
So Satelloons.
And sensor technologies. This is our current warfare doctrine in the United States. It is network-centric warfare. What I'm showing you right now is why, along with the Agenda 2030 system. Energy harvesting out of the human body. And last picture here before I go into this, sensors open system architecture is what they're using. All 5 branches, international, all of it. Today, electronic warfare has been running just fine for 60 years, not a problem. So when I saw this InfoWars grim-faced Maria Z get up there and tell people with images of Australia on fire that they were coming with their guns, with our military to knock down our doors, and the only way that that wouldn't happen is if, again, nobody signs the Insurrection Act and nobody goes to Congress. I was completely lost. That's not even our current doctrine of war. And then a bunch of people on YouTube and elsewhere continue to talk about this 5240.01, no reference to the 1982 5240.1R with sections 12 and 13, where the updates are for if humans get in the way. No references at all to section D, as in drones. Everybody highlighted the section where they think that the military is coming to take their guns away. We don't even need your guns. We don't use guns. We're using electronic and electromagnetic warfare since, again, bare minimum, Desert Storm. The lay people term for these weapon systems, voice to skull, MK Ultra, anomalous health incident, most recently in Congress. These are weapon systems using our phase array missile defense and SAGE radar. This is no hee-haw. This is ISR. So, this is where I'm going to show you again that my great uncle, whose jacket I'm wearing, was part of your X-class projects. You know them in the lay people term as black projects. He was 3750th Technical Training Group at Shepherd Air Force Base as first class air mechanic. Okay. And he was also involved with Aberdeen Proving Grounds. It says 6570th Test Group Chemical and Ordnance for Air Force Armament Center, Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland. Doing what? I have no clue. I asked you people to explain this. None of you would. Okay, but those are X-class projects. Now, what does that have to do with sitting here in front of you now? Well, in 524041, in section D for drone, that section is referring to a human tethering a drone. That's why 3009 was not written there numerically. So now we're going to deal in the real doctrines of war and how the Department of Defense organizes its data so people know how operations flow and who and where they can fire upon. Okay? So step one, you need to understand some terms. The law of war equals a warfare doctrine. And a term that most people have heard of is rules of engagement. Our current warfare doctrine is network-centric warfare. The law of war is what governs the rules of engagement, particularly for civilians.
Fuck.
Now I'm going to read this to you. And there will be links here on the channel, and I'm not going to read it out to everybody and show it to you because these are Pentagon directives. They're very dry reading. The Department of Defense Law of War, Chapter 6. The law of war does not require weapons to make legal determination